Time's running out for him. With yellow flags again. Oh,
No way! I cannot believe it!
Everyone is fighting here. It's almost for white going into the hairpin.
Goes over to the left as well. Derek going down the inside, goes takes it to turn one. Almost close there.
God, is this a fantastic race! Lost a bit of tire grip here. Man, it's in 3 seconds. Raw
Hello everyone and welcome back to Global Spec Racing Season 15, and we are heading to one of the most iconic circuits in all of motorsport. We are here in Suzuka for round 10 of Season 15 here with Tier 1. On screen you can see a bit of statistics here for our 2 title contenders, because tonight is a very special race, because tonight Overdrive could win the title with 1 race to go after this one. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on it, because Suzuka could be once again becoming the place where we see a new drivers champion being crowned. Yeah, Suzuka, I don't think I have to say much about this track. You all know this track, you all love this track. It's one of the most iconic tracks that there is in all of motorsport, and also this season in GSR. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. 5.8 kilometers or 3.6 miles. We have 18 corners on this magnificent track, the only one in the shape of an 8. You never heard that before. But yeah, I think it's one of the greatest tracks that we have. It's so nice. Yeah, lots of elevation changes as well, something we don't see that often on new circuits. But yeah, definitely a very good track to host the second round of the season. And doing this, I won't be alone again here. As usual, I'll be joined by my dear co-commentator Matt. Matt, great to have you here again. How are you feeling for this race?
Yeah, once again, just anticipating all of that's awaiting us. I saw some... Oh, hello.
Huh? Okay, why can't I... Ah, nice, there we go.
Yeah, though, it may be a little bit cut, the screen. Like, need to adjust the F1 game.
Yeah. True,
yeah.
True. Give me a second.
Like, yeah.
I don't know why it
I
does
see
it
it's
sometimes.
not perfect, yeah. I just immediately see... Oh, that would be better, yes. So you can see the full table standings. Oh my god.
Wait a second.
Technical problems. Oh. Discord sneak peek.
Okay, now it should be fine, I think.
Kind of. I mean, you can see on the bottom a little bit of Discord, and on the left and on the right, but it's okay.
No,
I
it's
guess
not
it's okay.
No. Okay. No,
Yeah.
on the other side. Okay, now it's perfect.
Stay that. Well, on the left.
Okay, there we go.
Now, okay.
Yeah. Oh.
That's not the worst.
No, I think that's fine.
Okay. Well, anyways, so once again, as every race, thanks to Jonah's amazing recruitment, we have new drivers here today, racing for in Tier 1, even though it's the 11th, the penultimate round of the season. And then again, we have a full grid today ahead of the race. And as we can see already, most of our drivers completed their qualifying runs with top 4 squeezed together pretty closely. And as we saw on the pre-race graphic, pre-quali graphic, the top 2 contenders in the championship battle very close together in the standings, 20 points separating them. And right now, very close to each other in the qualifying, sharing the first 2 positions. Yeah, as you said, Suzuka, an incredible racetrack. Maybe not delivering the racing that we kind of may have expected in recent eras of F1 racing, but for sure it's one of the best driving tracks overall. And in league racing, it usually produces very good racing. So I think we are anticipating a very nice race. But just before we quickly go to standings, I will go over the new drivers. As I mentioned, we have Grenade and Lieutenant Spears, both Mercedes, both Belgian, and both new drivers for today's race. Then we have recently joining us Mafio and Benzimon, as well as more leader. Newly racing today is Igatias 2012, that will be, in the Red Bull. And then we have the Smoker in the Williams, and of course the ones who raced in Mexico as well, Burl and Jezza, the latter of which taking the full-time Red Bull spot for until the end of the season.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of you guys in for tonight. Let's see how they will do. I'm very excited. This could always shake things up, so yeah, very much looking forward to it. But I think we quickly go over the standings then, Matt, before we get onto the action on track, because we do have a couple of minutes left. Do you want to go over the race results from last week?
Yes, we can just really quickly go over that, as we don't have much time. As we see now from Mexico, it was Overdrive who, after penalties, took the race win. Speedyman fell down to 4th after another pole position start, and Mafio and Aaron Gibbo shared the podium with Overdrive, as Kuro delivered another great bunch of points for McLaren that puts them into pole position to get to clinch the Constructors' Championship this race, actually, as could Overdrive as well if he wins 7 points in front of Speed Demon. Then it was Jimbo, Assassin, and a couple of other drivers.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. In the standings, they don't matter. Jokey. Well, in the standings we can see 20 points separating, so of course 7 points will be enough for Overdrive to clinch the championship into Brazil, as there's a significant amount of race wins compared to Speed Demon. Trixie is back for Japan, so he will fight to defend his P3 from Aaron Gibbo, who is charging a lot. As we have Kuro maybe being able to go up to top 5 with today's results, if he gets 4 points only, actually. And then Constructors very quickly as well. McLaren, if they outscore Sauber by 6 points then, so very marginal, a couple of points margins for both McLaren and their driver Overdrive to clinch both championships today in front of Sauber. But Sauber will still battle. Uanian is racing today, coming back as a reserve for them with Speed Demon. And then nothing really much changed. We have Alpine, Haas, and Williams battling for P3, and then a little bit down the order, the midfield battle: Red Bull, Racing Bulls, Ferrari, Aston Martin, and Mercedes way down the bottom. But coming over to qualifying, those Mercedes drivers who are racing today aren't doing too bad so far in the qualifying, actually. Although Lieutenant Spears retired. So I kind of jinxed it, unfortunately.
Yeah, a little bit maybe, but on the other side, Grenade, who is currently probably coming into the pits, I would reckon. Yes, he does. Sitting in P2, only beating by, who else could it be? Speed Demon. Once again, on provisional pole for now. We still have 5 minutes left, so let's see what changes. But yeah, Speed Demon, he has incredible consistency throughout all the qualifyings this season. You could see it at the beginning of the stream in the statistics I put up. 7 pole positions for Speed Demon so far in in 10 races. That is incredible. Yeah, very unfortunate for him to not get that many wins out of that, but still only 20 points behind Overdrive, obviously being the closest rival for Overdrive then at the moment. But yeah, still, like I said, 7 pole positions. That is just incredible how consistent he is throughout every single qualifying sessions we have. Only 3 qualifyings where he didn't get pole position, so yeah, pretty great stuff from him. Let's see if we can get number 8 tonight. Would be helping him at least in the championship fight.
Well, I mean, as well, look at Overdrive then, who is able to get the very most out of basically all of the races this season, bar 3, 4, as he is currently holding half of the wins from all of the season, 5 out of 10. So there's also an incredible consistency, and then 7 podiums out of 10. Actually, 7 P2 or above finishes. Never stood on P3 so far this season, so that's quite an interesting stat as well, and showing how careful in his approach he can be, and how through that he's able to use everything to his advantage basically. Right now, though, he's sitting 4 thousandths away in P4 from Trixie, who I said will be defending P3 from Aaron Gibble, but actually I just noticed Aaron Gibble is not racing, so I think Trixie could even clinch P3 in the standings with this race today. Yes. Yes, he will be able. If he scores, I think, 1 or 2 points, if I'm counting quickly. 1, 2, 3 points. So he will probably be able to do that pretty easily then.
Yeah, let's hope so at least. I mean, Trixie is a very good and consistent driver as well. It shouldn't be a problem for him to get well into the top 10 region, so securing 3 points. But you never know. Japan Suzuka is a very special track. We have a full grid, which we do have to say we didn't have it that often. So it's also for the drivers a new situation, I would say, something they are not used to. So let's see how this will play out maybe. So strategy could have a huge factor in here. I mean, you maybe have a situation where you would pit actually, but you have so many cars behind that you would be stuck in a train of cars, so you maybe not. So stuff like this comes into play. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see how the drivers will handle this situation then. And if we counted already, maybe let's talk about Overdrive for a second here. You already mentioned he needs to score 7 points more than Speed Demon in order to win the title here tonight. That means if he is winning this race, which I wouldn't count him out yet. So if he wins this race, that would be enough for him to get the title. Wait, no.
No, if
not if
Speed Demon
takes
pole and fastest lap, then not yet.
Yeah.
But,
oh yeah, that's right. But it looks
but
very
a win
good
to
for him.
Speed Demon's P3 would be enough.
Yeah. So if Overdrive would win, Speed Demon would need to get P2 at least. So in order to keep the title hopes alive into the last round. So yeah, obviously the higher up Overdrive would finish, the better. Obviously.
There's a lot of traffic here for Jezza, who actually completed his lap and jumped up a couple of positions just previously. So I think it's good if we focus on our top drivers. As one of them was a spinner there. Speedyman improving actually in the sector, being 2/10 in front of P2. I just quickly counted for you fun fact statistics. Trixie needs to get 1 point. To clinch P3 in the standings in front of Aaron Gibble, actually. 1 point will be enough. But anyways.
Oh my god, Speed Demon is on a monster lap.
2/10 in after 2 sectors, and he only has the chicane to go through. If he just clears it cleanly, as he does a little bit of a twitch on the exit, but he does, and it's a 26.3. 4/10 ahead of Grenade.
Jesus, that is the monster lap. Grenade also on a pretty slow lap. No improvement for him then. Actually, where's Overdrive? Overdrive in the middle of the second sector now as well. Let's see what he can do. Obviously, the higher up he finished, the more likely it would be to secure the title. Matthew goes up to P5 now. And Overdrive has his teammate Kuro ahead of him. Oh, Overdrive runs wide. Oh, kept it valid, but that will cost him a little bit of time there for sure. And now he got the toe of his teammate. Oh, he's a little bit quicker. Let's see where he can go. Up to the chicane now. The last couple of corners to go. Overdrive sitting in P4 for now. But where will he put it?
Up to P2.
Yeah, front row could be likely for him. And it is P2 for Overdrive. Trixie also on a good lap. 2/10 improvement so far. So Trixie is probably one of the only drivers who can challenge speed him in.
Big improvement.
Yeah, big improvement for Trixie there as he comes through the last couple of corners. He got the Sauber of Uranian ahead of him. Doesn't interrupt him though. Maybe a little bit of dirty air. Here comes Speedy Man. Oh, what a close time.
Wow.
200ths of a second between Speedy Man and Trixie there. Oh, Amaranda jumps to P11. And Speedy Man, no improvement of course. So once again, Speedy Man takes pole position here.
Wow, yeah, that's that's another one. 8 out of 11 pole positions of the season is Speed Demons, and he was almost about to be 3/10 in front of P2, in front of his championship rival as well. But Trixie with an amazing lap there at the end.
Yeah,
At the very end, almost pipped him, but not quite enough. But he's showing he could be a factor. He could shake up this championship battle to perhaps come back to the top step of the podium, because as we rewind back, his last win was in Austria 6 races ago, Trixie. So we'll see how that goes then, as we are moving on to the race now.
Yep, and the forecast said no rain expected, and obviously looking here at the sky, I would say the same. It's definitely a dry start for now. Maybe we could see some weather changes towards the end of the race, but probably not. So yeah, that's good for the drivers, obviously, as they practice. Okay, sorry, I was looking at the chat.
No Germans in there.
Yeah, Lenny and Odin just said it at the same time. Yeah.
But then, yeah, that's the fact. In tier 2, you have Palito, you, Lenny, Odin, Infinity.
Infinity, yeah.
Yeah, so 1/4 of the grid is German. Oh my, wow, incredible.
Oh, yeah.
But then look at the ratio of British drivers here.
Yeah, true. Oh, what I found out, you can look at race director and can see what tires the people are starting on.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So
hard
we
for
can
some
have,
guys.
Yeah, we can have a little sneak peek, although they are starting the formation lap now. So I forgot it for a moment. We could have gotten into it earlier. Why is the... Why can't I...
Where's
Oh,
the
there we
HUD?
go. Yeah. Okay. Good. So, looking at the tires, obviously we see most drivers opted for the medium tires. In fact, the top
Kuro
9...
again.
What? Kuro?
Kuro again will be starting on hards as he did last time.
My god, Matt, I gotta say, you have an amazing memory. I can't remember all the things that you can remember.
It's not memory, it's just that he was just running those hard like 20-something laps. And then he switched to mediums at the end. So,
yeah, I couldn't even have said that, but okay. That's good for having you here then.
But well, it worked for him because he got P5 in the end. So perhaps he's cooking another good point for McLaren, with Overdrive obviously starting P3, which is important as Iranian is starting a lowly P19 for the second Sauber seat. So,
yeah, not a great return here to GSR for him.
Yeah, as a reminder, 7 points, no, 6 points in the constructors. that is, for McLaren to be ahead of Sauber to finish it.
Do they only need to score 6 points? No, they need to score 6 points more than Sauber, right?
More than Sauber, yeah,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Okay. Yeah, alright then. Let's see what awaits us. Maybe after this race we have a new GSR champion, the champion of season 15. Maybe a new Constructors champion as well. But we're gonna find out in the next 26 laps. No, 36 laps? Oh, I don't know. Something like that. 27. Okay, there we go. And yeah, here we go. Then drivers lining up in the grids. Just waiting for the last couple of guys to join in. And then we can start the penultimate round of GSR Season 15 Tier 1.
It could be actually a kind of a sprint to the finish line, as recent races showed us in both tiers that they can be quite clean with no safety cars disruptions. And in Japan, this might end up in just a direct sprint to the finish line with one stop. But we
Interesting,
hope for some shake-up.
interesting lineup from Speedy Mid as well.
Safety car.
Already opted for the inside line.
Yeah, obviously trying to line himself up as well as he can, trying to use tricks. As he's not the best starter, as we know, as we've discovered for the season. But let's see how this one goes for him, as 5 lights are flashing on and they are immediately off, and we are underway for the Japanese Grand Prix in Tier 1, Season 15, and Speed Demon finally gets the start that he's needed. A couple of drivers ghosting there, and that makes Overdrive almost lose a position to Grenade, as he does hold it in the end, going into the S's. Mafia holds on to P5, Trixie into P2, but Speed Demon, very nice restart, immediately cut in front of Overdrive and Trixie and holds on to the lead. He will try to pull away from it now as we see some switches down the grid. Pepe of War from the heart, losing a lot of positions already on the start, falling from P10 down to P15 already. Iranian jumps up a couple of positions as well, up to P17, down onto the grid. But the top 10 is holding the positions, but the Williams of Armiranda, I think, yes, attacking down the side of Burl, and they make contact exiting the hairpin actually. And Armiranda is almost sent spinning into the wall, but somehow he kept it there. Burl now actually fair enough from him. Gives the position back, meanwhile loses the position to Jeza, because in the meantime Jeza managed to get past Miranda. Kuro also manages to capitalize on it, as he goes up to P12 in front of Burl. So Burl firm move there, but loses a couple of positions there as he's trying to attack back now, down the inside of Kuro, into the chicane in the final sector, as Iranian already gets a penalty, and Burl with a nice move up to P12. So far not much is changing, but very clean lap 1 from all of our drivers. And the gaps are spreading a little bit. It's not going to be easy to overtake on this track here, especially if our top 9-10 is still on equal tires, on equal medium tires. But we'll see how can they manage them, how can they, how many laps can they deliver, if some strategy will come at play, and if penalties will perhaps come at play. But so far Speed Demon holds on to a healthy lead and is trying to pull away from Trixie.
Yeah, so this was definitely a very clean and enjoyable start here. Oh! Paper of War is round under the tunnel. Is it called a tunnel? I would say it's a tunnel.
Degna 2 exit.
Yeah, Degna 2 exit, exactly. So yeah, I'm very amazed by that. I'm very happy that it was such a clean start. And we have virtual safety car. Because of Paper of War, I guess. Probably some
so,
debris lying around there, I would say.
That's a very bad start from Pepe of War. He tried to gamble on the hearts, as did some couple of drivers with him, 6 drivers with him, but he had by far the worst start on those, as he is now down to 20 from P10.
Yeah, we could.
We can look at the
exactly
changes. Sleazy and Jimbo also losing out a couple of positions, while Spears and Jeza both gaining pretty nicely. As we go back to racing, green flag is on. with Grenade actually getting a very bad restart because he was right on the back of Overdrive, almost overtook him on the exit of the hairpin, but now he's lost out a couple of tenths there on that restart. Trixie actually managed to get a little bit closer to Speed Demon, but not enough to try to go for him anywhere, as Miranda is struggling a little bit here, but is trying to chase Jezza down for back towards the point.
Yeah, and Pepe retiring in the pit lane. Not a big surprise there. Oh, we have a fight here between More Leader, Benjamin, and now 8 also joining in. Oh, 8. Did he got wing damage? No, he doesn't. Had a very unlucky race yesterday where he got wing damage early on. Also, a very clean start in ETSR there. But yeah, like I said, very amazed by the start here, and now it's all about getting their heads down, trying to get, yeah, how do you say, like get into rhythm.
Settle in.
Yeah, settle in, get into rhythm, and just doing their own race here now. Obviously, for Speed Demon, it couldn't be any more perfect. We would gain 11 points on Overdrive right now, so the gap from 20 points lead for Overdrive over Speed Demon would come down to only 9 points as it stands right now. But here comes Trixie! Oh! Trixie, looking a little bit quicker now than over Speed Demon, could maybe go for the move. That wouldn't help Speed Demon at all. So Speed Demon now needs to get his head down. And needs to stay ahead. Don't get into any unnecessary fights, otherwise the tires won't last that long. So yeah, good start so far.
Yes, but guys who don't have the DRS will be losing a little bit. As we saw earlier, More Leader was attacked by Benzimon and Aid, and actually now Aid goes past Benzimon. They both were close to More Leader as he was out of the DRS, but now he catched up back to Mafio as 8 managed to get past Benzimon. Seem to be struggling, and we have a yellow flag and it's Lithuanian, which will not help Zauber in their chase for the Constructors' Championship, as he has massive wing damage.
Yeah.
After a probable collision with the wall. Coming back to here then, thanks to a great pace from Speed Demon and Trixie, they're able to get away from Overdrive, and Trixie now dives down the inside of the chicane. It's a bit of a risky move, so he backs out of it, but he will have a chance here with the help of DRS perhaps, trying to maybe use all of his battery. Mafio gets the fastest lap from P5, but Trixie gets past Speed Demon into turn 1 from around the outside. Speed Demon tries to hold it, a little bit makes contact with him, but Trixie holds it, and a great move on lap 5 makes him go into the lead of this race, with Overdrive getting closer now to Speed Demon thanks to that. And that will just punch up our championship rivals for it, as Lithuanian goes speeding into the pit lane, and it's a retirement for the Zauber driver, which will not help Speed Demon in the constructors race.
Yeah, no, not at all. Although you have to say that down in P19, Lithuanian wouldn't be any help at all anyway. But yeah, definitely. I mean, you never know. Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't score any points as we have yellow flags again. Oh, Jezza has a massive off there in Dagna too. Luckily, could continue driving though. I mean, this looks like a nasty incident, nearly as if it would have been a race ending. But yeah, this is the third time in a row, third lap in a row that we have someone off in Dagna too. I wonder if there might be some weird track conditions there that might cause people to spin or something.
Oil maybe on the track or something. But well, will Speed Demon be able to take back this lead, because he is really close to Trixie. He was 3 tenths away now, again 3 tenths away on the exit into the start-finish straight with the help of DRS. He is looking at it perhaps, but he's conservative and he's trying to be smart, as Grenade now has to defend from Mafio. Defends pretty well, but Mafio seems to have the upper hand on the Mercedes driver.
Oh my god, Lazy Boy and Spears, they're coming together a little bit on the straight. Seems like Lazy Boy was cutting across him quite early, I have to say, but luckily it was all good, and yeah, none of them ended in the wall.
Burl, meanwhile, retired actually.
Yeah.
Just into the pits, not retiring, so I rate the fighting spirit if he is trying to continue. Maybe count on a safety car. Okay, never mind.
All right, there we go.
So 4 retirements already from the perfect, beautiful full grid that we've had. So unfortunate. SMH drivers not having a fighting spirit. But anyways, all of that actually puts Kuro almost into the points, which will help McLaren in the constructors. I think I'm saying that a bit too much, so I will shut up a little bit more. But anyways.
Yeah, but you're right too, to be honest. Like, I mean, this could be the championship deciding race that we have here, so it's good to mention it a couple of times, so you keep it in mind. Although, as it would stand right now, no one would be crowned champion, neither Overdrive nor McLaren in the constructors, when we have the fight between Kuro and Amaranda here, and Kuro now, as you just mentioned it a couple of seconds ago, moves up into the points positions. So yeah, he's really helping out the Williams team, sorry, the McLaren team now.
Yeah, and once again we have actually not once again, we have a battle with Kembo, getting past the smoker. We'll see if he'll be able to hold on to those positions and maybe perhaps get the points down the road, as he is on quite a good run of a couple of points finishes for the Aston Martin driver. So we will be monitoring that, but meanwhile Trixie is able to pull a couple of tenths of a gap on Speed Demon. It's almost 8 tenths now actually, as once again there's a close battle between a Ferrari of 8 and the Red Bull. If it's not OWR Assassin, it's one of the new guys, Egatias, who is trying to challenge 8 for P8, as we also are seeing quite a clean race with no penalties, as now Benzimon actually trying to go for a move on more leader in front of this Ferrari and Red Bull battle behind. So that will help 8 to close in on them, but we'll see if down the straight, perhaps with the help of DRS, more leader with no DRS, Benzimon should be able to get past, trying around the outside, very close there, but a perfectly timed move from Benzimon gets him up to P6, and he's gonna try and chase that DRS, that sweet DRS from Mafio, and perhaps go even further up.
Yeah, I do have to say quite a few moves that we see down into turn 1 so far, and all of them, or pretty much all of them, are pretty clean. So yeah, I don't know what I wanted to say anymore. Sorry, as we have Igatius overtaking 8 now into the hairpin for P8. Maybe 8 can fight back, but not sure. And we also have the fight between Lazyboy and Spears. Spears with the lockup here, making a little bit of contact here. And now side by side they come out of the hairpin all the way down towards Spoon Corner. Obviously one of the most famous corners on this track. But it looks like Lazyboy will stay ahead for now in P12.
Yes, indeed, as both of them now have quite a big gap to the next DRS positions. As 8 now tries to go back on the Red Bull driver, they make a little bit of contact, and 8 barges his way down the inside. Through he goes to P8, but that battling again made them lose the DRS, as Benzimon actually gets the fastest lap, and he's pulling a couple of tenths of Mafio. As they both are in a close and tight battle, as he is in a close and tight battle with Grenade, who hasn't lost the DRS to Overdrive, who has lost the DRS to Speed Demon actually. So Overdrive within the next couple of laps may be vulnerable to the attacks as Overdrive makes a big mistake now in Degna 2, and he's losing 2 positions. You catched it quite well there, Soren, on the stream, as he's down to P5 now, with the DRS to Speed Demon now away by around 3 seconds. So that will be a very tough task to get up there to try to gap Speedyman on a couple of points. It's a perfect situation for the Sauber driver, who is also only half a second away from Trixie for the race lead actually. And we are coming to pit stop, so Speedyman with a well-timed pit stop, with a well-timed undercut, may be able to perhaps get back, get in front of us.
Yeah, and this is now a very interesting situation actually, as Overdrive now comes into the pits. Overdrive then the first one to pit, because I don't think he's gonna retire after this. But yeah, Overdrive then being the first to pit. I wanted to say it's an interesting situation, because it would have been very interesting to know, like, because you mentioned Overdrive not gaining on Speedyman, actually losing out a little bit of tenths every lap. And then we had Grenade and Matthew, who were right behind him. They were within DRS, so it didn't look like Overdrive was that much quicker than Grenade and Matthew. And it would have been very interesting to see now if he would be staying with them actually. And Matt, you're still there?
Yes, I just left the lobby because I was checking the stream was a bit wonky for me. But the stream on Twitch is alright, so just my Wi-Fi, so I left the game and now it's better. Just the Wi-Fi got a bit overloaded. But anyways, yeah, as you were mentioning that both Grenade and Mafia are pretty quick, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And now Overdrive.
We have DNF.
Smoker retires. Will that give a safety car and perhaps an advantage to Trixie?
He retired on track.
Oh, that's bad, but that's not giving a safety car, which would be a huge advantage compared to Overdrive, as actually Overdrive went out in P12 and he will soon approach traffic as Grenade goes into the pits to cover Overdrive, as Benjamin now has a clear run on Mafio and tries to go down the inside as they make contact into turn 1 they go, and Benjamin squeezes through that gap somehow. They still go side by side into the S's, and Benjamin is in front of Mafio. What a battle and what a move from the V-Carb driver, as he's ahead. Mafio still trying to try some different lines through the S's, but he's not able to get bad as him. What a move from Benzimon there.
Yeah, I've got to say, it was... I mean, you could clearly see on the straight heading into turn 1 that Benzimon didn't quite have the top speed that Matthew had, so I was very surprised he still went for that move. He was quite far back, but yeah, in the end he went for it, and it was a hard move, I gotta say, but it was a fair move. They both left each other room, so fair play to both of them. That was a brilliant fight. And in the meantime, Overdrive got past Grenade. We didn't quite see how that happened, but Overdrive
the undercut, actually.
Wait, yeah, undercut, yeah.
It's the undercut, yeah. Grenade pitted 1 lap later, and we'll see, and we see he's more than a DRS away from Overdrive. He will be trying to pull more leader along with himself, as he's marginally catching now to Overdrive, as our both leaders are in. Let's see if Benzimon pits also, as is Mafio. So our top 3 is pitting. Let's see where Overdrive now goes out in comparison.
And also don't forget Kuro. Kuro's staying out. He will be ahead of them all now, and he's a teammate of Overdrive. There could be team orders could play a big role here, as we also have Lazy Boy passing them. And Overdrive with the fastest lap. Here comes Overdrive, but Speed Demon stays ahead, but Overdrive is right behind him again. He catched up to them again. That was a brilliant run from Overdrive, these 2 laps.
Big loss from Benzimon and Mafio there, as they go behind not only Grenade, but also more leader, actually. As they are now down in provisional P6-7, that would be, I think. As they all have made their pit stop. Now it gives Agathias, Kuro, Miranda and Larsenboy the top 4 positions in the race, as just as in Mexico, if they hold on more for a couple of more laps, the leaders will have to try and get past them, as Trixie is already going closing in on the DRS of Larzy Boy. So that will be interesting. How can they manage the traffic up ahead that's coming? And most probably it will be Larzy Boy and Kuro, as they both are on the hard tires.
Yeah, like you mentioned, here comes Trixie then, already on Lazy Boy, and no problem for the house driver here, getting past well before 130R. So he has clean air heading into the chicane here, but Speedman and Overdrive both have to pass him unless he's coming in, because Iglesias, oh god, I can't use Jesus, EJ? No, I can't pronounce that.
Iglesias, I think.
But there's like
I'm not sure.
Atlas at the end. Atlas? Oh my god, I don't know, to be honest. Sorry, and here comes Speedyman. Sorry, also now on Lazy Boy getting past into turn 1. That is gonna help Speedyman now, as he got Lazy Boy now in between him and Overdrive, and you could see how much Lazy Boy is falling back already. Quite a huge drop off here for him, and Overdrive is now stuck behind the Ferrari here, can't really get past. Oh,
And
maybe
that will help Grenade. Perhaps.
Yeah. Now, well before before Degner 1, I think Lazy Boy just let him through here. He knows they have something big to fight on, so he doesn't want to ruin anything here. But Overdrive with that is now out of DRS again of Speedyman.
Yeah, that's very respectable from Lazy Boy, as I presume he will let Grenade and maybe even more leader past into the spawn curse or the chicane after 130R. But look at the gap between Trixie and Kuro. They are catching up massively to the McLaren driver, and now, this time out, there's not gonna be quite such a big difference as in Mexico in terms of tires, because then they had like 10 laps or more on Kuro, fresher tires. As here we have a fight brewing, as actually Lazy Boy is not letting them pass yet. Which allowed more leader to get closer to Grenade. Speedyman with fastest lap, so getting very close to Trixie, as now both drivers get past Lazy Boy. Very easy move for them, and more leader couldn't attack back, couldn't attack Grenade, as actually Matthew went past through Benzimon.
Yeah, here in the background we also have a three-way fight between Spears, Sleazy and Miranda. We saw Miranda going a little bit off track there in the last corner as well. And Spears now getting ahead of the pair of them. So Spears now in P12, Sleazy P13, Miranda in P14. So for quite a good amount of fights overall throughout the whole field, I've got to say. And most of them are all pretty clean. Maybe a little bit hard, but I think you have to be hard on a track like this, where overtaking is kind of difficult. You have to get a little bit innovative when it comes to overtaking. So yeah, good to see all of those fights.
But
getting
2
very
seconds
clean.
only. If he's able to hold on and not give them the DRS,
look how much
exit from Trixie.
Yeah, I think Kuro might be on purpose slowing down a little bit to have them catch up, so he could slow them down.
But if he's able to enter turn 1 in front of them, it will be a massive advantage to Overdrive. As now again, fight brews here between the Ferrari of Lazy Boy, Benzimon and Mafio. As they both get past Lazy Boy. Miranda retires on the exit of the spawn curve.
Oh, how did that happen?
And I don't know, but Kuro is holding the lead. And now he will block those 2 drivers who are in front of Overdrive.
So much happening.
The sector 1 most probably. Oh my god.
Oh.
Look at him, look at him. They're losing so much. Overdrive is within the DRS of Speed.
Oh my god.
Kuro is making an incredible teamwork here for McLaren. Look at how Overdrive managed to squeeze that gap in. 9 turns away from Speed Demon. 8. The gap is going massively down. Kuro is defending for his life from Trixie. Will Trixie try a risky dive? They make contact actually because of how much fresher tires Trixie has, and Trixie gets the much better exit. But will Kuro try to still defend it? Maybe use the last bit of his battery into the spawn curve. He will try down the inside. Maybe no, it's not enough. Trixie holds on to the Speed Demon, gets a penalty now, and Speed Demon is blocked and has Overdrive in his rearview mirrors. Now what will Kuro do? Kuro will probably defend into 130R, trying there. Speed Demon down the inside of 130R, goes past Kuro, and Kuro lets Overdrive passed, and now it's DRS for Overdrive, and it's game on for our championship rivals as he has the advantage of a penalty now. Speed Demon again, bottling the pole most probably, and Overdrive now will be in a safe space now, will just have to cruise, and he is able to gain a couple of points more on Speed Demon if the results stay like that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, we do have to remember, if Overdrive would overtake Speed Demon now, it wouldn't be enough for Overdrive to win a title. However, if he would also overtake Trixie, who's not that far away at all, then it would be enough. If Overdrive would win, Speed Demon in P3 and Trixie in between the two of them. We've got still 11 laps to go, or 12 laps to go. So, we do have quite a couple of laps, so let's see what's happening here now. And
Wait! Overdrive
wait.
has the fastest lap. And
Yeah.
Speed Demon has the pole.
Yeah, so, but if Overdrive would overtake
so
him, he
there's
would
some-
only gain 3
Yeah.
points as right now.
So, wait, but the
Overdrive-
points then cancel out now if it stays like that.
Yeah, it does.
So yes, so with a win, yeah, he would be ahead. Yeah, indeed. Sorry.
Wait, Speed Demon has the fastest lap.
Oh, Speed Demon has the fastest lap.
Yeah,
So he has
he's
the
triple.
advantage by 1 point, so he would take the championship by 26 points then, I think, to Brazil. So we'll see, but actually Speed Demon is losing out on the DRS from Trixie.
Oh dear.
And Overdrive is 4 tenths behind. He might be on for an easy move on this Overdriver.
Oh! It's
Struggling
Mercedes
for those
off!
starts.
And an Alpine! Grenade and more leader, both off in the final corner, in the final chicane. What happened there? But sorry, we jump back to Overdrive as he goes for the move round the outside on turn 1 on Speed Demon. Goes a little bit wide though, and is not able to go for fully for the move. He loses out again, so it stays the same order. Speed Demon in P2 and Overdrive in P3.
Too ambitious a little bit, I feel like, from Overdrive there. He can't allow himself for mistakes like that, because let's not forget, if he retires, then the gap would go down to
0 points right
zero,
now.
to 0.
It will
Wow.
be even into the final race if Overdrive would DNF right now. Oh my god.
Because 20 points for Speed Demon for
Yeah.
both the fastest lap and pole. Wow, that would be incredible. As they are settling into this kind of world order, Speed Demon is able to edge out just from Overdrive. It's not gonna be enough to get away from his DRS. Overdrive just keeps it within a tenth or two, but it will be very close there.
I forgot. Let's check ERS, baby. I completely forgot. Oh, they're on the same level of ERS. Trixie got 10% more than these two, but so far they are both on the same ERS level. And Overdrive is actually out of DRS. He still got it though, but he might lose out on the next lap.
Yeah, it seems like Speed Demon have the upper hand on pace, but well, only 8 laps to go now in this race. So Overdrive just has to cruise behind, as I said, because a retirement would not help him at all. But also the 2 points from Kuro would not be enough to clinch the constructors from McLaren as well, as it stands right now, just as a reminder. As Jimbo now goes into the pits also. Yep.
Is that his second stop or his first one now? Because must be his second, right? Got wing damage though as well. Yeah, it was the second.
Yeah.
It was the second. All right. Yeah, I do gotta say, I really appreciate Jimbo. I have so much respect for him. He's driving in every race. He's driving all the way to the end, no matter what position he is in. He has very good driving, or driving spirit in general. I gotta give a big shout out to Jimbo. Like, he is always there as well. So really big appreciation to his.
And with those fresh
Hello.
tires, he is catching up to Sleevy, so he might be on for P13 now on track, which would be pretty nice actually. But anyways, Benzimon up on Matthew, pretty easy move. Benzimon seemed to have the upper hand on pace. And with Grenade and More Leader both imploding themselves, that gives P4 now to him, as we also have a battle here for More Leader, who is trying to go back after a pit stop, and I'm assuming a replaced wing, who is trying to go back into the points playing position as he gets past Larsenko right now in P12.
Yeah, I mean, after the whole lot of action that we had throughout the race so far, I think the race is calming down now a little bit. The gaps for our leaders are also spreading a little bit. Trixie 1.7 seconds ahead of Speed Demon now, Speed Demon 1.2 ahead of Overdrive, which wouldn't be enough to stay ahead, because Speed Demon still got a 3 second. I'm not sure if he can get that one removed. Maybe even picked up a warning there as well out of Spoon. Did look like he was going a little bit wide. But yeah, so race has calmed down a little bit now. We do have the battle between Benzema and Mafio for P4. And those two, they also have been battling for this whole race basically. So yeah, good to see that this is still going all the way to the line it seems. Yeah, but besides that, everything a bit spreaded. Grenade in P6 as we have Mafio coming back on Benzema then. So the Aston Martin driver takes P4 again, for the moment at least.
Yeah, the Aston Martin driver has been on a good run since he joined this league. I mean, last week. He got P3 in Mexico, obviously, and now he is on for P4, P5, which would be a very strong result in his first 2 races in here. Just looking at the gaps, actually, 8 cannot get rid of a Red Bull battling him basically every race, as Aegatius is still within the DRS of 8. As always, as I mentioned earlier, we always have Assassin battling with him most usually. And Kuro as well is most usually battling with them. Right now Kuro is a little bit more away. I don't think he is going to be able to gain any much more from this, but a late race safety car is not out of question. But still, only one VSC, showing how clean Tier 1 has become in recent races, which I'm very nicely proud of.
Yeah, indeed, and although obviously it's quite sad how early people retired, all except one retired in the pit lane, so that's also good shown. Oh, Benzema here, having struggled getting the traction out of the final corner here, really sliding around there. Lost out a little bit to Mafio now, and even out of DRS there. This might be a good opportunity for Mafio to push on this lap to get him out of DRS. That could secure him P4 earlier in the race now. But as of right now, Benzema is catching up again, as I think Mafio is doing some mistakes on his own here. So yeah, those two are pretty similar in skill level, I have to say. It's quite cool to see.
Yeah, they are carrying our midfield battle so far. As Grenade and More Leader couldn't keep it up. Speaking of the Alpine driver, he is within the DRS of Spears, who also has a penalty additionally. So he will comfortably get into the points. Will we be able to catch back up to Kuro? Maybe possible. As Mafio actually gets a 3-second penalty, which if Benzema is able to secures him the P4 finish in the end. So that's unfortunate for Mafio. Now Benzema can calm his driving style and try to deliver that P4 home. Meanwhile, here on the top, Speedyman is pulling out massively on Overdrive.
I think Overdrive must have made a mistake, I think. I saw the gaps quickly rising. I don't know, somewhere around the region of 130. I was jumping massively from 1.8 seconds to 2.2 now, I think.
No, but look, it was 2.1, 2.2 on the straight, and now it's 2.3. It seems to be a pace difference today, because look, he's able to... It seems like... Because I've noticed that he was able to gain a lot Overdrive through Sector 1. I think Speedyman must have lower wings, and he's able to massively pull away on the straights. But slowly and gradually, Speed Demon has been able to get away from Overdrive, as is Trixie from Speed Demon, basically securing his win. So that could be interesting for the end of the race. If he's able to just pull 9/10 more, he will be able to finish ahead of Overdrive, which would close the gap by 5 points with all the additional points that the Zauber driver managed to get so far in this race.
Yeah, and that would bump the lead down for Overdrive on only 15 points, which is still a good lead, but if you think about it, that's not even... I mean, yeah, it's still a good lead over Speed Demon then, but obviously it's not as much as 20 points, so the chances for Speed Demon, they are not that yet. Like, Speed Demon still has a realistic chance for next week then in Brazil, for the final race then, to secure the title there. I mean, with Trixie now also racing again, he is clearly showing... I've gotta say, Trixie is driving incredible today. He is not like massively far away, but he took the lead from Speed Demon earlier in the race and he never gave it back. Like, he's consistent there. He had to fight for it at least a little bit with Kuro, for example, which wasn't in his overtake. But ever since, he just had a good, consistent pace, never looked back basically, and just, yeah, it's driving to a good win here, I've got to say.
Yeah, and now the gap between our championship rival is up to 3 seconds, almost, barely 3 seconds, as 8 actually made a mistake there, unfortunately, out of Degnar 2 again, which bumps Agacious up to P7, behind Grenade now. So 8 will quite soon might be vulnerable to Kuro, who is on the alternate strategy, so he will have the better medium tires right now, from what I remember. So we'll see how that finishes, as Speed Demon has now pulled that very important gap on Overdrive. So actually, this is getting spicy now. This is getting interesting. Because that is 15 points, in which, if we don't count the... Yeah?
I'm just gonna say, do you think that Kuro would come in the last couple of laps to go for the fastest lap? Because at the moment it belongs to Speed Demon. No, actually no, Mafio.
Oh, Mafia got it.
Oh.
So it's...
But still could be an important point for the constructors, although Kuro would fall behind War Leader and Spears and stuff. Oh no, he won't, sorry, never mind. But here comes Lazyboy now. Down the inside on Spears then, going up for P11, and he takes that position. But he does have a 6-second time penalty.
Yeah, pretty much, which would bump him back down again. But they are not fighting for points right now. As Kuro is indeed gaining, he's gained a couple of tens now on 8, so it might be probable we'll see a last lap battle between those two. Meanwhile, here Benzimon has stopped trying to overtake Mafio, as it's not convenient. It's what he must do to just clinch it. To just clinch the P4, but actually they have such good pace, both of these, that they are catching up to Overdrive, who is dropping off massively from Speed Demon. And although Mafia has a penalty, Benzimon doesn't. So if they both get past, it's only 3 laps to go though. As they both get past, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm curious. Why is Overdrive so slow now? Like, it doesn't look like he has front wing damage or anything.
Big tires drop off. They are now gaining massively on Overdrive.
Let's see. Wait, Overdrive last lap. Overdrive last lap. 32.0, 31.8, 31.5.
That's not good laps at all.
31.1.
Yeah, look
31,
at him. 1 second.
2. Pretty consistent lap times from Mafia, I've gotta say. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, but the last 2 laps, 9 times gained on Overdrive, and gaining even more. 1.4 seconds is the gap. If
they might catch him.
So slow, yeah, they will catch him. It would change a lot, that one position, because it would be 3 points in Speed Demon's advantage, so 7 points. Gap down to 13 points then. So if we for example would say, oh, Speed Demon would get pole in Brazil, that would be down to 12 points, let's say. So a win and overdrive P5 would be enough, and if we have a good stacked grid, that might be hard for overdrive
the thing is
defend
though,
it.
Benzema must overtake Mafia now because they won't catch overdrive now, but on the very last lap. So very last lap into turn 1 will be the only chance, and if Mafia overtakes him, overdrive would gain a position because of the penalties. So Benzema needs to overtake now on this lap. Oh, goes for it down the inside. Oof. Very late move from Benzema as he takes the position from Mafia.
Perfect move though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And now he has a chance for the podium even.
He has sniffed the chance, he had sniffed it, and he went for it immediately when he saw overdrive dropping off, and now he's catching up massively. It's inevitable until Benzema is past overdrive with the help of DRS. Overdrive will be obviously defending really hard, but if he gets such better exits than the McLaren driver, it might be on for the V-Carb for an incredible podium finish then. But we'll see. Overdrive seems to be struggling a tons on those hard tires.
Yeah. So, also by the way, I've got to mention Speedyman is catching up to Trixie again, but maybe Trixie's saving eras for the final, for the fastest lap on the final lap. We'll see. But yeah, Overdrive. I mean, this could have been the race where the party started for his championship title, but it's all turning not very well. Benzema getting very close. He might go for the move already into the last chicane. Will he go for it? It wouldn't be smart, and he knows better than. Oh, late move! Oh, contact! Benzema is round. Benzema wanted too much, and he spun round, and he will drop behind Mafia now as well, because he is not within 3 seconds of it. That is saving Overdrive now, as he will come home in P3 then, as Mafia still have the penalty, and for now we think that this won't get removed. But yeah, very, Benzema just wanted too much, I think. Very late move
just too late. He outbraked himself, I think, what happened, because he wasn't going for it, but in the end he stuck his nose there where there was no chance for it at all. So I think he just simply outbraked himself. He didn't expect Overdrive maybe to brake earlier, as he seems to be struggling a lot. As look at Benzema, again 5.2 gap to Mafia, now 4.6. They seem to be struggling for some reason compared to Benzema. He has the base advantage, but that was indeed a little bit too much, as Trixie was able to hold on to that lead, and also getting a slipstream from the lone Aston Martin of Jimbo, whom he will get past maybe with the actually no, the Jimbo will complete another lap as Trixie goes round the final corner and he wins the race in Japan here. Mafia gets past Overdrive on the final lap, but it won't be enough. With Speedyman clinching P2, it will be Mafia P3 on track, but Overdrive with the podium in the end, thanks to the penalty.
Yeah, I mean, we had a very exciting start of this race. Obviously, the first, I don't know, 10, 15 laps were very exciting. Then we've got a little bit of a downer, but then towards the end it was very exciting again, thanks to the help of all those drivers here. Yeah, Grenade P6, Egeatless? I don't know how to pronounce it, I have to ask him after the race. P7, 8 and P8. Kuro P9. Spears in P10. More leaders then will come home in P11 with Lazy Boy P12. Sleazy in P13 and Jimbo coming home in P14. But that was a good race.
Yeah, what else to say?
And Mafia also already saying in Discord chat that he might get his penalty removed. So.
Well, that would help him a lot, as he would jump up to another podium, and it would bump Overdrive just at one position more, which would give him, again, What was it? 6-point advantage, I think, to Speedyman. I think so.
Yeah.
But all of those results not only close our championship rivalry for by at least a couple of points in the driver standings, but also helps the constructors, as I think Kuro got P8 overdrive, but so actually, wait, did Kuro? Wait, can you skip it? Did Kuro get P8 or P9?
We can skip it.
Just
Kuro
for
got
curiosity.
P9.
Oh, Kuro got P9, so that's 2 points. So that's 17 compared to 19. So 2 points gained by Zauber there.
Oh.
Which is just the last gasp defending, perhaps, because with a result like this, obviously McLaren will hold on to its lead, but yeah, basically.
Yeah. All right, then let's see if we can get the drivers in. I think Trixie won't join, but Overdrive and Speed Demon, I think they will. As oh my god. Okay. Wait a second. Wait.
Oh, but once again, we welcome Overdrive and Speed Demon onto the same podium. Which actually didn't happen quite as much as you might think. It only happened 3 times this season that they shared the podium.
Only? Really?
Yes. Overdrive shared the podium more times with Trixie than with Speed Demon. Even though Trixie
Crazy.
raced 5 races. Well, actually 6 now.
Okay, that is crazy. Okay.
Wait,
yeah. we can move over.
Yeah. But just wanted to continue on my statistics chart.
Yeah.
This Japan podium makes the second time all 3 drivers share the same podium. First time was Belgium. And it makes the 5th time that Overdrive and Trixie share a podium. And the 4th time that Overdrive and Speed Demon share a podium. So, as I said, funnily enough, Overdrive shared podium more times with Trixie than with Speed Demon, which is, yeah, I wouldn't quite expect that, to be fair,
Yeah,
considering those two are the main championship rival. But
yeah,
quite
all
a
right
fun
then.
fact.
Yeah, okay. I don't think Trixie is joining. He never joined, so we will do without tab
We
2.
may invite Mafio as well, as he technically got a P3 on track, so
yeah,
wouldn't
we may.
be too outrageous, you know.
Then we'll wait a second for him. Hopefully he's joining, and if not, then we'll just do with Speederman and Overdrive.
Best interview duo.
All right, Mafio's in. Nice. Make sure your mics are working, guys, and then we can start the interviews. So yeah, we start off with you, Mafio. Then, first of all, thanks for being here. Congrats on the good result. Yeah, so P4 today, so close to the podium. Yeah, how does this result feel right now?
Bit mixed. To get a bit done with the undercuts. Hoping the penalty can be removed because I feel like a couple of the warnings were actually on the line. I know people can say you can try and exaggerate that. Like I had 2 at noon, so I'm hoping that can be removed. That's why I made a bit of an audacious move around outside of Overdrive into the last corner, the last lap. So I'm hoping that would secure the P3. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But worth the try. But I think it was a good race overall. It was a good fight with the Haas. Names popped in my head now. Yeah, I had a good battle with him. I had at the moment into turn one. I think the last couple of laps, but I had to count. I thought a bit sketchy because he was only had a wing and foot alongside me. But yeah, the contact at the end with him and overdrive at the end was notified me P4 instead of P5. So you got to take what you can get really.
Yeah, and from your perspective, where do you think did the chance for a top 3 initially slip away, if at all? Like wasn't mostly the pace, or wasn't more stuck in traffic, or yeah, what could have been different that you would have been finishing on the podium?
Well, first of all, the penalty, and second of all, I think I looked back and I thought I pitted early, like too late compared to everyone else. But I thought the tires would come down, which I assume that's why Overdrive struggled. I think maybe tire strategy not so much, but I think I was kept my time lap. I looked at the gaps with the Sauber that finished. I think it was a grenade in the Sauber. It was I try and look at his pace. We were quite close at times, but he just had the edge. So I think he was just a bit faster. So I don't think pace wise really done much. But I think if I was behind him for most of the race, probably maybe had a chance of getting ahead of him. But I think he just had a bit more pace than me. So I think P3 was probably the maximum I could have it. But quite fight.
Yeah, and
Just
yeah.
just gonna cut in. Spears, if you could mute yourself, please. Thank you. For the interviews.
Oh yeah.
Because of my muffle. No. Thank you. Yeah. Just a question. Did you screenshot your race director, Matthew?
I definitely got all my. I do all the time. It's a forced habit now. I did it way before even the race even finished. While I was waiting for the rest of the cars to go, and I also tried to get the instants at the end, but I might not have got them all. But have the evidence to show that it was corner cuts and not like collisions or anything. I definitely got the race director. So it depends if how the stewards feel like with the lines because can't really go off the onboard. We'll see how Stewart can get with the off.
Okay. Yeah. So sorry, Soren. Continue.
Oh good, oh good. If you wanna ask something, Matt, then you can. Anything else, might mean?
No.
Well,
To add. Oh, sorry.
yeah. That's the fake. So Matt, from Matt, from Matt to Matt.
Oh,
So I was gonna ask one more question. So like, because I think after pit stops it was that you found yourself with Benzimon behind more leader and Grenade, the Mercedes of Grenade and the Alpine of more leader, and then they made contact. Perhaps how relieved did that make you to like get past them and clinch those good points, which may or may not turn into a podium, or perhaps if they didn't make contact, would you be able with Benzimon to take the fight up to them to get past them and get around overdrive?
I mean, if you took in terms of tires, obviously we had a couple of laps old younger tires, so I think maybe with the tires maybe you could try. Always difficult when one car's following another because the other one just uses the other car with DRS to defend, and as long as they stay behind and they don't make any clumsy moves, you can hold that position while keeping the car behind while using the DRS to their advantage to defend. So I think it would have been difficult. I think it would have been possible, but yeah, collision definitely would be affected results to what it is. But I think it was a clumsy move anyway. It seemed a bit at the time, but you'll take what you can get really. But there's a chance. Just ties really make a difference. So probably not. Yeah, it was always a chance. Very much.
Okay, I see. No worries, and that's everything from me then. Congrats on your E for Matt.
Yeah, hopefully P3 can get it removed. But yeah, I won't go there.
Yeah, same from me. Thanks for joining us here, and congrats on the result. And yeah, good luck then for the stewards and next week then in Brazil.
Yeah, no, see you guys next week.
All right, cheers. And
On to another, Matt.
yeah, we move on to Overdrive then, our third place finisher and still championship leader. Overdrive, first of all, thank you for being here. Congrats on the podium. Yeah, P3 today. Just tell us first of all, how would you sum up your race here in Suzuka today?
I wouldn't say good. I'd probably say this was my worst weekend of the season. Yeah, quali just nothing wanted to go right. My last run, I was up by 3/10, and I made a big mistake out of speed and got onto the gravel. Were it not for Cure, I would not have even been in the top 5. He gave me a very nice slipstream on my final run. And yeah, once again, yeah, just without Cure, a lot of this race wouldn't be possible. He's the best teammate I could ask for. Yeah, the first stint just went horrid. I had no pace. Lost DRS to Speed Demon, and then in an attempt to get back in, I made a mistake. And I did go very risky on the setup. And every single time I caught the curb into Degner 1, every single time I did that in practice, I DNF'd. And I'm very lucky that wasn't the case today, and I just went onto the gravel. But yeah, it ruined my race a lot. I tried the undercut, didn't work, and then the one opportunity I had to get past Speedy and just failed. And then yeah, it became it went from me trying to stay within 3 seconds of Speed Demon and trying to get to his DRS to saving the tires, because with about, I think, around 9 laps left, I was on, I think, 45%. So yeah, it was literally just a case of just trying to save tires as much as I can, otherwise I'll get a puncture at the end. But yeah, for sure, it's probably my worst race of the season. But to still only lose 4 points to Speed Demon is, yeah, it's quite crucial.
Yeah, and would you say this race today was, were you really going for the title here tonight? Were you really like calculating all the things and thinking, okay, I need to be ahead of Speed Demon now to win the title, or was it just like the focus on bringing the car home clean and just being as safe as possible and not lose too many points in the end?
The goal today was to win. Win the race and I win the championship. Simple as that. Even though it would have been statistically like 1 point, I'm pretty confident in myself I can finish P10 at Brazil. I don't mean to jinx myself. But yeah, the goal today was definitely to win. And I went very risky. I was testing 2 setups today. And I opted to go for the one with very low wings. I was running 21.2. And yeah, the rear was just very slidey throughout the whole race. So yeah, I was trying to do as much as I could to try to take it, and I feel like I got a bit desperate when I tried to get back in Speed Demon's DRS, because either way I knew I was going to do that undercut. I don't regret pitting on lap 9. I'll do lap 9 or lap 10, I don't remember what it was. I'll do the exact same thing if I did that race again, but I feel like that one mistake where I got desperate thinking about losing Speed Demon and then getting overtaken by the guys behind, and then like, oh, what does this have on the championship if he finishes second, I finished like 7th. Yeah, so I'd say I was thinking a bit too much about the title, but haven't lost out too much.
Yeah, and speaking of that, maybe with championship pressure always in the background, how do you balance risk versus like points at this stage? Like, would you say you maybe would have driven a little bit different if there wasn't a championship title on the line?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Speed Demon are in two very different positions. I led the championship by as much as 46 points, and I've got everything to lose. Speed Demon's on the comeback of a lifetime, and he's got nothing to lose. I feel like that alone puts a lot of pressure on me to not only win the championship, but to ensure that 46-point lead wasn't for nothing. I do know without that wheel disconnect, then ones of things would be very different right now. But yeah, there's just a lot of pressure, and yeah, just it's all about trying your hardest to combat it. Just yeah, try like I'll still try things that I'll try even if there was no pressure. Like the move on Speed Demon. I feel like it was very ballsy to try go around the outside into turn one. And knowing how Speed Demon's been racing after the winter break, I don't think that move was ever going to work. He's just a lot more confident in wheel-to-wheel combat. So yeah, there's nothing I would really change in terms of whether I'm in a championship fight or not, but the pressure definitely is like feelable.
Yeah, all right. Matt, on to you if you got any questions for Overdrive.
Not much actually. I think Matt has said anything that so that Matt doesn't have to ask anything more. So well done to Matt from Matt for finishing P3 in this race.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do actually have one more question then though.
Yeah.
Overdrive. Obviously yet now one race to go, Brazil. It's looking very likely for you to win the title, but nonetheless, how do you take on this week now until the final race? Like what will you do? I mean, obviously some people would argue, yeah, it's the same race as always. I'm taking it on the same as always, but I think somewhere deep in your head you always have this slight little thought of what if I don't win the title now next week? Maybe could have done more practice. So what is your thoughts now heading into the final race? Do you do more practice to really make sure you're gonna win the title next week?
We've just got to see. It's going to be a case of balancing free time and practice. Make sure I'm in the best place as possible. But yeah, it's going to be very important to make sure I'm on my A game with Brazil. As easy as it sounds, just a P5 to win the championship, I'm pretty sure no matter what, I've got count back on Speed Demon. But yeah, it's not easy to win, get a podium in this league. There's been races where it's been a 7-way fight for the win. There's been races where it's been 2. So yeah, at any point, any of these drivers, you've got Trixie, you've got Gibbo, you've got Mafio, if you can get into the mix. Benjamin even was looking quite rapid today. There's so many people that just on their day could get a win, get a podium, get a top 5. So, and between me and Speed Demon, it's just where we finished among those. So, yeah, being in the best position for next week is all I can do. Win the title or not, I'll still be very proud of the season I've had. 5 wins in one season is something quite crazy. I've nearly won half the races that I've started, which is something that I never expected to do going into the season. So, yeah, but the goal is to win, and hopefully that's what I do.
Yeah, all right then. Then good luck with that. I say thank you again for joining us here. Congrats on the podium, and yeah, good luck then for the final race next week in Brazil.
Thank you very much.
All right, and last but not least, we move on to our second place finisher, Speed Demon. First of all, thanks for joining us here. Congrats on the podium. Yeah, P2 at Suzuka, solid points today. Ahead of your title rival Overdrive as well. Are you happy with the result, or do you feel there was more on the table?
There was 100%, 1,000% more on the table, and I wasted that opportunity away with that 3-second penalty, not being able to stay with him. But there was 100% so much more on the table, and it was only my fault. I felt like for the first stint when I was with Trixie, it was all fine, but then after the pit stops, I just couldn't stay near him till the very end when I started gaining a few tenths on that. But it could have gone much better. Yeah, my pace wasn't bad. It was just little mistakes, like that 3-second penalty, running right, running wide, and stuff like that. It's never helpful when you're trying to gain back 20 points with 2 races to go. Because yeah, it's not nice knowing I have 16 points, but I've just got to give it full beans next week and
see where it goes because I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, and from the cockpit, how difficult was it to stay close and look for opportunities on such a narrow circuit that Suzuka is? I mean, it looked quite a little bit difficult to really go for the moves when you're all on the same pace wise up at the front.
I mean, it was very difficult because the first few laps on my first in, I was running like 20 and 10 wings, I think, at one point. So Trixie just flew by me in the straight, and of course with Dirty Amos game, I couldn't get any time in the corners. So when I boxed, I put on to 10-9 wings, and I think it was too far on the other way. So I just had so much understeer. But I'm not sure if you saw me S's. I lost probably half a second at some points to Trixie and overdrive in the S's, and didn't really gain much back in the end. So it's difficult trying to stay ahead with high wings than someone else, but it's so hard to claw back that gap in because you have to use so much of your tires as well. It's just not nice to try and overtake somewhere like Suzuka, which can provide great racing, but it's, it is always difficult to get past or even sometimes just defend someone.
Yeah, and speaking of attacking and defending, you basically had to do both in this race. And obviously, you mentioned the tires. So, how much did the tire management and consistency play a role in securing that second place today?
The tire management wasn't too bad. I felt like I had enough tires in the end to keep it with Trixie and start catching him up a bit, which I'm not sure if you saw. But yeah, the tire management wasn't too bad because I know Trixie, as soon as he's out the gate on those new tires out of the box, he just gives it 110%, which I know I can catch up to him, but is whether I can stay with him and not use all my tires before that point where his tires start to die out. So yeah, that wasn't bad. Had a half decent setup on, but not really much I can do about it now.
Yeah, right. Matt, you want to ask something?
Well, similar to Overdrive, do you feel any substantial pressure coming into Brazil, as you are the one who gained back all the deficit, and now the gap is down to. Wait, wait, I'm forgetting. 16 points, I think.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, 16 points. So still perhaps within reach. We know how good you are in qualifying, so that always could give you another point. So, every point matters. And yeah, how do you feel about that coming into the finale?
I don't feel like for me there's much pressure because I have nothing to lose. If it goes wrong, I lose the championship, and if I do well and Overdrive finishes in fifth, he wins the championship. So it's like I have basically nothing to lose. He has almost everything to lose with a 16-point gap. So I just have to give it my all and hope for the best next week. So yeah, there was a bit more pressure this week because I knew if I, lost a few points to Overdrive, it was basically done and sealed. But never say never. With racing in this league, all it takes is a weird safety car, him spinning out, or something along those lines, and I'm right back into it again.
Yeah, pretty much. Well done. From me, that's all. I'm wishing you good luck and congrats on your finish today. And Soren, do you have any questions? More?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay.
Just again, Speedyman, thanks for being here, and congrats on the podium, and good luck next week then.
Thanks.
All right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to an end of this stream. Round 11 of GSR Season 15 Tier 1 didn't disappoint. We had an amazing race, lots of fighting, lots of good battles. Really enjoyed that one. Hopefully we have an equally good race then next week as a finale. Matt, you want to say anything at the end now?
Well, just tune in, as Interlagos could even deliver an even better race, and I hope the field will be stacked, so our championship contenders will have as much of hard job to do to get through and prove that they should be, either of them should be the winner this season. So just tune in, and that's all from me. See you next time.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, guys, with that, we wish you a very good evening then. Tune in on Friday again for Tier 2, also in Japan. Maybe they will be crowning a champion. Or at least we're gonna see one champion definitely being crowned then next week in Brazil. Same time, same place here with GSR. And until then, I'm sorry, on my side was Matt. We hope you enjoyed the stream and see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.